Alright, hello everybody. My name is PeteDorr, and I am going to be showing you Baroque on the Wii today. I'm starting in the Wii menu here because I want to start the run off with this really cool intro that this game has. Despite playing on the Wii and despite the motion control warnings here, there's no motion control because I'm using a Pro Controller. But I'm going to be quiet. By the way, this is developed by Sting and published by Atlas in the US. So you know you're in for a treat. But I'm going to be quiet here during this intro and kind of just let you appreciate the really awesome animation and song that accompanies it. Alright. How's that for an intro, right? So yes, the game is just as confusing as the intro, but we'll get into that. So I do have a backup file prepared for this game because there is one thing that can happen in this run about 15 minutes in that can be run ending, and there's nothing I can do about it. But for now, let's put in our name. We're going to be B.O.S.S, of course. And this is played on easy. I'll get into why that is as we get ready. So get ready on time here. As soon as I confirm the difficulty, we're going to start. So I'll do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This game also has unskippable cutscenes. Please pay close attention to the cutscenes because it'll help you appreciate how crazy the story is for this game. It's very hard to understand. I actually tried to prepare for this run by reading the manga. I got through the first book, and I gave up. I think it was confusing me more than helping me, so I'll leave it to you guys to be just as confused as I am when it comes to the stories. First of all, I do need to change camera, because playing with the normal camera in this game is pretty obnoxious. Alright, we're gonna punch this guy 100 times. This is how the run starts. The reason why I do this is because this game's plot advances by dying. So this is actually the fastest way to die when you start a new file. After you punch this guy 100 times, he'll murder me. Shoutouts to Azef-kun, who was the person that routed this game. Routing Baroque is not easy, and he found this little trick, which is the fastest way to advance the plot. Normally, you can go to the tower, which will give you an extra cutscene. You can die in there. The speedrun of this is pretty much in the beginning, where we're trying to advance the plot as fast as we can with the least amount of cutscenes as possible. And the next hit should do it, right after this one. Okay, one more. We're close. There we go. It locks me in place so I can't run away. And then we get another cutscene. So the story basics of this is that the main character is amnesiac, he's mute, and he has no name. And all he knows is that he's been told that he's created a great sin, and he needs to pretty much make things right in the world by getting redemption and killing God, essentially, is the basics of this game. The main plot point is that you need to kill God. So, things get a little weird, I'll just warn you. And just to show you how cryptic this game is, we're going to receive some advice here from this very elegant angel. And he tells us that we're never supposed to use the gun that he's going to give us. He says never give it to anybody. However, if you take that advice, you can never beat the game. So the game is misleading you right from the start, because in order to beat the game, you have to give the rifle to somebody. But he tells you don't do it. This game is very cryptic when it comes to how to advance. This game actually got very, very mediocre and poor reviews in the US because it's a roguelike, and US reviewers at the time really didn't understand roguelikes, and also how to advance the plot of this game. Because it's not typical for games to continue the story by dying. Like, you're supposed to die in this game. If you go through this without dying, well, you'll never get the ending, because you can't get there. So our first trip into the tower here, I need to get to floor 1200, and I'm not going to be gaining any levels. I'm not going to be killing anything. And that's because the first trip through the tower, all the progress that I make doesn't matter, because when I die, my progress will reset. I'm going to pick up a couple of items here. Just because I want to switch off of my rifle, because if I accidentally throw this rifle, that'll be the end of the... I'd have to reset the run, so I don't want to throw that by mistake. It's very easy to mistakenly do that. Let me open up the map here. So the objective for these first 12 floors is that I need to just get to the floor exits as soon as possible. So you'll notice there's a little mini-map in the center of the screen that is very hard to see. It's very faint. Very hard to read sometimes. Sometimes I have to adjust my camera. Oh, the ice cream man is driving by. Hopefully my mic will pick that up for you guys. Okay, we don't want to go in there. That's a cutscene. So as you can imagine, this game is very RNG-based. There is some semblance of skill required, for sure, like being able to read floor patterns and kind of recognize, okay, this is where the exit may be, is very important. But at the same time, like, it's mostly, in the beginning at least, it's hoping to get lucky by finding the floor exit as soon as possible. So if you've ever wanted to see what a pacifist speedrun of something of the equivalent of Dark Cloud would look like, this is the closest thing, because we try to avoid killing enemies as much as we can, because that wastes a lot of time. So all floor layouts are random. All enemy placements are obviously random, because this is a roguelike. Everything is random, okay? Everything is random except for a few predetermined locations. Like certain floors will always have certain story triggers. I'm going to go in here and get this health just to be safe. Okay, this floor I need to be careful, because there is a cutscene room that if I walk into, we waste about a minute and a half. So I want to be sure not to do that. You know what? Let's try this way. I do apologize, it's a little hard for me to keep up with chat in this game, because it is very easy to die. You're going to notice I'm going to stay at level 1 for a very long time. And if enemies kind of like... Oh, that's the green room, don't want to walk in there. If enemies corner me, it is really easy for me to get killed. I will start taking safety saves every few floors, so in case bad things happen, we can just reload. But the second I take my eyes off the screen, like I can read chat here in these long corridors. But if I let my guard down, okay, of course the exit is probably going to be all the way up here. Good old Baroque. This is a very, very bad floor layout. So what does VT stand for? So if you've ever played Dark Cloud, that's the equivalent of like a water system, right? Your vitality drains over the course of time, and in order to replenish that vitality, I need to eat hearts. Eating hearts. Of course, the room I spawned in, the exit was directly above me, and I went the total opposite way. But that's the excitement of speedrunning Baroque, right? Like games like this. Sometimes you get lucky, like here, I got a nice quick exit. Yes, so that's another point, is health regenerates. So as long as your vitality is not empty, if you look at my top left of the screen there, you'll notice that my health is slowly going up. there are a ton of items in this game, many of which are detrimental. Not everything is going to help you. There are lots of items, especially if they are unidentified, that are meant to hinder me. It is a pretty brutal run, also regarded at the time by many critics for its steep difficulty, not just in ways of how to advance the plot, but in just the sheer difficulty of the dungeons themselves. And that is the reason why we play on easy for the speedrun, is because there are certain enemies in this game that we're going to encounter once we get a little bit more into the run. I'm actually going to do a safety save at this point. Nice thing is you can safety save between every floor, so I will do that occasionally. Later in the game, I will be safety saving after every floor because they are brutal. But there's tons of traps, as you see there. Using items that are not identified could just straight up kill me. I can use an item, and it could be an item that just kills everything, including me. So I need to be careful. Yeah, so Baroque on the Wii as a port. If you're thinking of picking up Baroque, I'll go into more of the history of the different ports and versions of this when we get to our next cutscene, because it'll be a pretty long one. But if you're thinking of picking up Baroque on PS2 or Wii, go for the Wii version if you can, because the Wii version actually runs at a higher resolution in widescreen than the PS2 version, which is forced in the 4x3. And now you see the art of speedrunning this game. A lot of it comes down to... Ooh, oh boy, that is not good. Okay. We're going to have to come in here and kind of like let these enemies funnel in here so I can get back through that hallway. So this is where the skill of speedrunning this game comes in. You got to learn how to manipulate enemies in some of the worst situations like this. Okay. Another thing you want to keep an eye out for are those sort of like jumping, those guys right here that I just passed by on the right. They can steal my items, and if they steal my rifle, yeah, we're in trouble. Because that means I can't advance. So this is a very butt-clench speedrun, okay? I'm just letting you guys know, especially towards the end of the run. You better be ready, because things can get really scary. I know the beginning here seems pretty simple, where I'm just kind of wandering and, doing whatever. But, yeah, prepare yourselves for later in the run. Things can get kind of insane. And the thing that makes this so exciting as a speedrun is the items you get are random, and you can come up with some insane combinations. So you can get items that, for example, like, reduce the HP of all enemies in the room, and then you follow that up with, like, a fire blast that hits everything in the room, and you get this mass, well, first of all, you use the experience bones, which would double all experience gain. And you can just clear rooms if you have the right item combinations. But most of the excitement comes from getting yourself into a really bad situation, and then figuring out the correct way to proceed with what you have given at the time. Also, how's audio levels? Can you guys hear the music all right? Because the music in this game is fantastic. Alright, we're gonna eat a heart. If I have one. Or a fruit. Fruits are fine as well. Hearts, fruits, same thing. Because my vitality was getting a little low there. Audio's good. Sounds good. This is where it starts getting a little scary, because these, I don't even know what you want to call them. I forget some of the names of the enemies in this game. Which, by the way, I actually learned this, so I'm not as experienced as the record holder as this game. But I learned this for the 12-hour challenge, which is if you're looking to pick up an RPG speedrun, this is a fantastic run. I need to save here because this is the run killer floor. Now it's too soon. All right, let's end the voice. Oh, that isn't on. We'll have to figure it. Okay, let me know when it evens out a little bit. Watch the red thing on top of the screen to know like when it's not lagging anymore. No, well, because we're doing RTMP streaming. So let's see how this goes. I think it's back. All right, good. Okay, I did my safety save. Thank you guys. Yeah, if anything pops up, just let me know. We'll deal with it. No problems. All right, so this floor, this is how brutal this game is in general. There is an item that I need to spawn. If the item does not spawn in a normal PB attempt, it would just be a flat-out reset. So there is a chance that it won't spawn. It's called the cultivating fluid. So I'm going to need your guys' energy, hopefully, that this thing spawns. If it does not spawn, I do have a backup save. Because that is the one thing in this run where it's completely out of your control. It's probably about a 25% chance that it does not spawn. So let's hope that does not happen. Oh, let's go this way. Okay. Now, I do not want to take the exit here. We are not exiting on this floor. We're actually getting this item and then dying right after, because dying will advance the plot. Oh boy, man, we are not getting... I know Baroque too well. I bet you the room that I need to be is going to be in the top left of the screen where I spawned. I know it. Yeah, so if you guys want a synopsis of this game's story, you can try reading Wikipedia. It is still pretty darn confusing, though. I will just warn you. Of course, it looks like I got horrible luck here. I'm just checking my map. Let me check down here first before I go all the way back. But it looks like the room I need is the opposite direction of where I decided to run at the start of this floor. Don't steal my items, please. Yeah, do yourselves a favor, okay? Try reading the summary on Wikipedia. Because I'm not going to be any help. This game is too confusing. I actually bought this on day one when it released on the Wii in the States in 2008. I had no idea what was going on with the story, and even after trying to understand it, it's still confusing as heck. Alright. Come on, game. Be kind to me. The room I'm going to need is probably going to be right through this corridor. Yes, this is a roguelike on Wii and PS2. Okay. When I see this, I know that I'm in the right area. And of course, it was the room directly next to where I spawned. Alright, please, fluid, be here. Ah, yes, we got it. Okay. No reset required. So let's eat this. And then we need to flip this. Yeah, there's a pretty large chance that that won't appear, killing the run. But I did have a backup. Alright, so we throw that in there. That lets me take it into my next life after I die. And now I just need to die as soon as I can. And there's lethargy, one of the worst conditions. There are a lot of conditions that you can end up with in this game. That is one of the worst, because you run so slow. Come on, kill me, please. There we go. Alright, we're going to do a safety save. Yeah, you guys will like the cutscenes in this because they are really weird. Really weird. Okay, so now that I've deposited that fluid, if I come over here and punch this guy, this is the collector. If I throw items into that orb like I did, it'll allow me to pick up those items when I respawn.
I'll apologize.
Cryptic things that I need to do here, like throwing that fluid at Longneck over there in order to advance the plot.
Are you in pain? I'm sure you are.
And now I'm going to go back to the tower and immediately die again, as fast as I can to advance the plot. The best way to die is by finding... Hopefully I find one soon. I could just stay here instead. But there are vents that I can find. They don't always spawn on the first floor, but the vents will kill me really fast. It's faster than waiting for the fish. Usually when there is a ramp like this, there's always one up top here. Yep. Yep, just chuck it at him. Alright, brings me down to 1 HP, and take a hit. There we go. And by dying, we're advancing the story. And then you're going to see just the weird things that I have to do in this game. Like, to advance the game now, I'm going to have to run up to Longneck and punch him specifically 2 times to get his crystal. And then he dies.
My crystal.
Alright, then we're going to take this. We're going to bring it over to the Sentry Angel, our best friend. And then we're going to go die again. Now, the reason why it's faster to go to the tower and die as opposed to punch him again 100 times is because we avoided a cutscene in the beginning of the game. by punching Sentry Angel. This is faster to just go here and die again, because we don't get a cutscene. Brady. Vents. Go. And please kill me. Oh, I stepped on him. Whoops. Kill me. There we go. And now coming up, we've got one of the game's infamous cutscenes, which is 3 minutes long exactly. So I hope you guys enjoy the really weird, confusing story of this game. Look at Sentry Angel, by the way.
Copying him, and I buried myself.
Yeah, this game's got some really creepy dialogue, by the way, from some of these characters out here. I highly recommend you give it a try playing it. Alright, so enjoy the cutscene, but I'll take this time to kind of tell you about the history of Baroque. So this actually started as a Sega Saturn game, which only came out in Japan. Never made its way outside of Japan, and it was a first-person dungeon crawler. Very, very similar in style to this one. This is essentially a remake. And you'd be very surprised how much they managed to carry over in terms of same enemies, same characters, same story plots. It's essentially the same game as the Saturn version. It's just that instead of being in first person, it is now in third person. A lot of people would say that the Saturn version is much more dark and sinister and sort of like horror-esque compared to this one. However, this one does a very good job of sort of replicating the original game. This was ported to the PS2 and the Wii, both in North America and PAL regions. And believe it or not, there actually was an iOS port of this game back in 2012, which I bought. And believe it or not, it was a really good mobile port of this game. And I played it with a touchscreen and everything. There's no voice acting, but that's a little known fact. Baroque on mobile. I don't know if you can buy it anymore, but it's a decent port. So if any of you, want to give this game a try and you can't play one of these versions, go for it. There was actually a shoot 'em up for this game. There was some sort of like visual novel. Yeah, there was a lot of content made for this series, I guess we'll call it. So, one thing I will tell you, though, if you plan on playing this game, please do yourself a favor. Use a strategy guide. I know some of you out there are very adamant about playing your games completely blind and without a guide. But I'm telling you right now, you will either never finish this game, or you will spend God knows how much time, and I'm not kidding, trying to figure out how to beat it and still probably never beating it. So what I recommend that you do is use the GameFAQs guide and just make an outline for yourself. Or heck, use the speedrun guide on speedrun.com, which has no story spoilers. It'll just tell you how to advance the game. Because this game is... And anybody in chat that has played this, they will attest to what I'm telling you right now. It's not just me. You cannot play this game blind, okay? There may be like a dozen people, 90% of which are probably from Japan, that have beat this game blind. But use a guide. Do yourself a favor.
Consciousness orb?
This can't be.
Am I really me?
He was given such powers? The
Me.
Archangel's plan.
No.
The
Us.
world.
What will become of us?
Okay, so we are going to reset again, and this time when we enter the tower, we're going to start caring about levels, we're going to start caring about items, and this is when the game starts getting pretty intense, because no longer am I just trying to run as fast as I can through the game and get to the... Well, I'm still trying to run through it as fast as I can, but now it's more than just that. Now I need to care about what my level is, what my HP is.
This world
And I
is
need to
becoming
care about
more
what
and
items
more
I'm getting.
distorted. Hurry to the bottom floor. There is no other way to atone for your sin.
Almost made a big
Now
mistake
use
there.
this.
I almost went through without getting the rifle. Which would have been really bad. Alright, so... First thing I want to do is pick up a few items, mostly just so that I can get off of critical items that I need to make sure I don't accidentally throw, which is why I need to make sure I'm always making safety saves. Alright, so we might as well equip an ice sword. That's actually really good for now. It is cursed, but that's okay. unidentified. We're not gonna unequip. We're not gonna equip an unidentified piece of armor because that can be really bad. Oh, nice. Okay, so this is the luck that we're looking for. Now, in a PB attempt of this, we typically do not kill anything, but because this is marathon, I am going to be killing and trying to get some early levels. Normally, we just like try and wing it, and oops, this is a switch. We usually try and wing it and get through as much of the game at level 1 as we can, but that's super dangerous. So we're gonna go for some safety strats here. Oh, nice. Oh, hold on, there's another torturer. Okay, that's really good to have because I just got an ice torture, which allows me to deal ice damage to everything in the room. So I'm going to be able to use that to great effect if I can get a bunch of enemies in one room and get some nice juicy levels. I actually might do it here. Ooh, this might be good. Okay. Yeah, let's lure everybody in here. Come on, everybody get in here. Come on. Everybody? Where is everybody? Maybe that's not as impressive as I thought it was in terms of enemy count. Now I gotta wait for them to come through the hallway. But hopefully you're appreciating the weird enemy designs in this game as well. Yeah, we'll wait. We'll hold on to this. I can make better use of the Torturer. But getting a Torturer that early on is very, very important for gaining easy levels. Oh yeah, if there's ever an RPG that needed safety strats, this is one of them. Thank goodness this game has saves after every floor, let me tell you. Okay, this is floor 4, so I need to be ready to avoid the room with the cutscene. Because there is that green room. Ooh, what do we got here? Antidote. That's not one of the better wings, I don't think. Let me just double check that. No, we'll be fine. Like I said, one of the hardest things about learning this run is more so remembering all of the items. And I am a little rusty on this run, not gonna lie. I was kind of hauled in on this because of the runners that had to pull out due to hurricanes, which hopefully they're doing well. I wish them the best with the situation that they have. It's very unfortunate. But yeah, okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna use the ice summon here. Look at all these enemies. Okay, get everybody in here. Come on, everybody. We're gonna get some nice levels here. Yes, yes. Come closer. Okay, everybody's here. Hopefully I don't die while using this. Ooh, and I have a fire torture? Alright, let's do this. Come on, gotta get them a little closer. Come on. The range on these things is not the greatest. This should be better. Okay, they're hitting me, so it's interrupting my cast. Things can get a little shaky here. We're gonna eat this to be safe. Things I go through to try and get experience. There we go. Level 4. Didn't kill as many things as I wanted to here, but that makes me feel a little bit better in terms of safety with my HP. Alrighty, floor 5. Still caring about levels very much. I gotta keep an eye on my HP and VT at all times because I don't have any good defensive items right now. Let me just check here. Leather, no. I'm gonna wait for something better. Because if I equip something that is cursed, that can be really bad. This is pretty good luck though with floor RNG, getting to the exit as quick as I can. And the further I get down, the more intense the enemies get. There are some really annoying enemies, specifically the wall enemies, which I think I started to explain earlier, but it was stopped for whatever reason. There are enemies that block your path, and you have no option but to defeat them. And if you don't have specific items to help making dealing with them easier, you can be, no pun intended, but like walled off, essentially, from the run. So you need to make sure that you have... Oh, I didn't get lusted, that's good. You need to make sure that you're ready to prepare for them, and playing on anything above easy difficulty makes those wall enemies really hard to kill. And neither of us have done a speedrun above easy difficulty because even on easy, especially in the speedrun setting, this game is quite difficult to get through at minimal levels. So I'm trying to keep an eye out for beneficial items on the ground at all times as well. Yeah, you'll see the lust. Okay, we're gonna experience. That could be good. All right, so let's eat some stuff here, shall we? This. Let's get rid of this. Let's pick up a few of these. So this will give me increased experience, which is quite nice in the early levels of the game. Which is, once again, what makes this an exciting speedrun, because every run is completely different. You know, you can get one of the most powerful weapons in the game right away, and man, what a fun run that would be. Of course, you'll probably end up losing the run at the end, but, you know, that's the beauty of speedrunning a roguelike like this. Yeah, Lust Effect is one of the coolest freaking status effects you're ever going to see in an RPG. And I really hope I get lusted so you guys can see it. Yeah, shoutouts to the people in chat, by the way, that are, I asked Azith-kun if he can help me commentate this run, because he's very knowledgeable on all things about this game. Fortunately, he was not able to. So shoutouts to the people in chat that are kind of trying to help explain what's going on in this game, like some of the items that I'm picking up. I don't have a coat. Let's throw this. Because there's a ton of items in this, and explaining every single thing that I pick up can be pretty difficult, because it's pretty fast-paced. Okay, we're on floor 900. So floor 900 is important because, well, in the first tower trip through the game, electric. Ooh, hold on. Hold that thought. Let's throw this. I just gave that enemy 100 HP, by the way. Because the first time through, you can actually throw an item into a conscious orb. There's a conscious orb on floor 900, so your first trip through the dungeon, you could actually store an item for the second trip through the dungeon. But unfortunately, I did not find the orb in the first dungeon trip. Ooh, branding. Okay, hold on. Cures blindness and lusts. Let's get rid of this. Alright, man, I think I'm gonna hold out for an identifying bone because I don't want to brand my weapon with something that is not good. And this is around when I'm gonna start saving more and more often between floors, because this is around when I can die in a moment's notice. The gun is very useful. The gun is never shot, but it is given to a character that we're coming up on very soon in order to advance the game, which kind of leads to this game's very cryptic nature. The gun is integral to finishing this game, but you don't want to actually use it as a gun. All leather. Okay, give me a moment here. I'm actually just going to go through my stuff and get rid of things that I may not want. Oh, shoot. No! Oh, I did that by mistake. That's okay. Okay, it's not cursed, which is fine. Sometimes you'll equip something by mistake and then you can't take it off because it's cursed. Oh, no, I'm lethargic. Okay. Let's get our slow juking skills on here. Yeah, one of the worst. Late in the game, if you get lethargy, it can be run-ending. Not the path I'm looking for. It's probably all the way on the bottom. this is fine. I'm going to be checking my inventory periodically to make sure that I'm using beneficial things and getting rid of things that are no longer beneficial. Ooh. Gotta get my juking skills on a little more here. Still looking for a good coat. I still don't have a good defensive item, which hopefully I'll be coming upon that soon. We're gonna go this way. Gotta watch. These guys shoot purple orbs. I need to be ready to dodge those at a moment's notice. They can be devastating, especially if they shoot multiple. Alright, we're gonna do a safety save here as well. I'm still on pretty good pace though. I'm comparing against my PB right now, and this is not terrible. Alright, we're gonna look for the same lab where I found the fluid on this floor last time, the one that we were praying to RNGesus for. And we're gonna hope that I find it relatively quick. I don't need the fluid to spawn this time. This time we're all good. This time it's all about cutscenes. Ooh, a Kenryu. Hold on a moment. Health items. Oh boy, alright. At maximum, what did I pick up the bone again? Oh, because I have multiple. Uh-oh. Ooh, man, that almost went really wrong. I almost threw that. If that would have hit an enemy, I would have had to reload. All of this just to get this food. There we go. A little bit of a heart attack there. Okay. We're gonna pick up this torture. We're gonna get rid of that. I want Glacier. This is good for trying the level. Oh yes, we found it. Nice. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm actually ahead of my PB at the moment by 30 seconds.
Is recorded in this consciousness orb.
So this is why we held on to the rifle. You actually give the rifle to this character, despite being told at the beginning of the game to never give it to anybody.
Pain?
Very misleading.
Pain is a signal that notifies of a distortion. When our bodies fall to sickness, a type of malignant noradrenaline is released.
Malignant noradrenaline?
So yeah, this was developed by Sting. So Sting is known for games like Riviera, The Promised Land on Game Boy Advance, PSP, Wonder Swan, Nights in the Nightmare, Hexy's Force, Gungnir, Yigger Union, and a slew of other games, but those are the ones that they're most well known for.
God who is cheerful, positive, and sick.
Cheerful, positive, sick God?
Published by Atlas in the US.
We will pour distorted information into the
Yeah,
consciousness.
Riviera, The Promised Land, one of my favorite RPGs ever. Anything that Sting developed and released over here, I always made it a goal to try and play it.
But
The pain we will have removed will be cultivated.
what?
Creatures born with only pain. It is no longer pain. from
This cutscene
within,
is really weird, by
but
the way, if any of you are
pure
paying
pain from the
attention to this.
outside.
They're talking about, like, the pain of God and blah blah blah. It's
To God.
quite
Too
the story.
cruel.
Are you going
I'm not
turn
going to
against
attempt to
me?
explain any of it, because
There's
I don't
already
even understand it still.
The ampules stuffed with littles are the angelic rifle's bullets. The ampule shatters inside the meta-beings and the littles pierce through. But the littles die before they can fly out. Littles, creatures of pure pain, can only live inside the ampule.
So yeah, we're using those little cute angels to shoot from our gun.
Please, you must
And they're
save
pretty
them.
much the pain
Save
of
them with
God.
your
I don't
purification
freaking know.
powers.
You guys figure it out. This is Baroque in a nutshell. Okay, so we got to do something really weird here. I've got to move towards and away 3 times. Where's my gun?
My sin is that gun's... The gun. Will you give me the gun? Use this instead.
Okay, so this, I'm going to take a moment here. This is usually a good point to kind of get rid of things that I don't want in my inventory. kind of like clean up a bit. We're just going to get rid of things that are a little risky to use in this run. Now, there is a much faster way for me to throw stuff away, but this is the safer way so that I don't accidentally throw something away that I want to keep. I can throw it away by cycling through it, but trust me, throwing something away that you need is... it's really bad in this, so I'm just playing it safe here. So I'm going to actually use this. That increases... So when my HP is full, and I use an item like this, it'll actually increase my max HP, which is very beneficial. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. So, unfortunately, I did not find the exit floor. If I did, I could try and use a way to warp there, of which I really don't have many. I have one warp, but it warps me to a random location. Okay, that hallway is really dangerous. We're going to find another path. But you can just, if you find a port bone, you can use that bone to port you to an exit if you found one. This is one of the few floors where that's actually beneficial. But I did not find one. I had some bones, but they weren't identified, and there's bones that explode, and if I use a bone that explodes, it could kill me. So yeah, we're not going to take that chance on a marathon. In a PB attempt, I usually will risk using an unidentified bone, but not here. There are so many ways a run can die in this, but the nice thing is, as long as I'm playing super safe, raise my max HP. As long as I'm playing super safe and utilizing safety saves, this is actually a very marathon safe run. Yes, she also gave me a recovery DX, which raises my attack and defense permanently. But there are floor tiles that you can step on in this game, which will decrease your stats permanently. By the way, I still need a good piece of equipment. The glass item that I have in my inventory breaks when you run to the next floor, so yeah, don't want to be using that until a floor like later on in the game where I might need super defense for one floor. Nice. Not bad, not bad. Okay, next floor I'm waiting for is floor 1500. And I'm gonna... Oh boy, that is... You know what? This is the perfect room. Here we go. Oh, I have experience... Oh, I have that on, okay. Glacier. Hell. Yeah. Give me those juicy level items. A lot wipe and instantly levels. Stutter's back. All right. It should go away a little bit. Don't worry, guys. Just dodging enemies. We're gonna do a safety save so that way you don't miss out on much. It's good now. All right. It's good. It's good to know that that it doesn't last for too long. Alright, we're on floor 1500, which means I'm going to be looking for the NPC room. Oh my goodness. That could be really dangerous, stepping on a floor tile like that. That can, like, break my equipment. It can do a myriad of things. Her room is always in a position that goes north, so there she is. Yeah, this room always spawns heading north. Oops.
I wanted your...
My what? My conscious orb.
Because you gave me your pure water, I was able to give birth
Or
to
my
our
water,
egg.
rather.
Thank you. If we can absorb and
How did I get
discard
VT
a
back?
lot of correct data,
When you level up, you
we
get
should
all
be
your
able to
HP and
return
VT
to
back.
ourselves. So we need more consciousness orbs.
PG, guys, PG. She wanted my water, okay? Obviously.
Look, this is the consciousness
Okay, so this is a
orb
4.5
that
minute
you
cutscene,
have
so you,
yourself.
need to take a stretch break or whatnot, but you know, maybe you don't want to miss out on the hot Baroque action. These cutscenes are fire. So, coming up is floor 1600. From floor 1600 to 2100, the wall enemies start spawning. They're known as suns. This is where the run can get scary, because if I don't have items to deal with those walls, I actually should have saved some of my AoE spells for these walls in particular. But they are very hard to kill, very annoying, and if you get into a hallway with walls and enemies, it can be really dangerous. Certain hallways, the game loves to troll me during PB attempts, and sometimes put 3 walls right in a row. That's really bad, so hopefully we don't get that luck into Marathon.
Where's the memo from him?
Also, welcome to super weird stuff in a cutscene. We find out here that the main character has a conjoined twin. You know, spoilers, one of them doesn't make it, and obviously the one that makes it is the protagonist. This game is really depressing. In case you haven't caught on to that by now.
My hip hurts because you moved around.
So there is a manga, like I mentioned at the beginning of this run, that you could, if you're really fascinated by the story of Baroque, it's 3 books, 3 volumes. I made it through the first volume and was like, you know, this isn't really helping me. This is still just as confusing. let's just leave it as is. But if you really want to try and help understand the story of this game, you could give the manga a shot. It is translated, so you can go check that out.
With the DeBar fusion, give God the voice of a human.
But who will we fuse?
The manga was actually made during the original release of the Saturn version, but like I said, the Saturn version bears very, very striking similarities to this game, so it's pretty much 1 for 1.
If they find out, he'll be torn apart.
But at this rate, the Archangel will become the absolute god.
The DeBar fusion is the only course of action that can stop the Archangel.
That is a good question, Colin. I am not sure if they did the manga or the game first. I believe the game came first and then the manga.
Save us.
Yeah, actually, I'm almost positive on that, because the manga, like, you can actually tell the manga is very much like a video game in terms of, like, there's a lot of scenes of them crawling through the dungeon, and you can tell things are included because it was in the game. Like, it was kind of shoehorned in.
Don't rip us apart. Save us.
The music in the Saturn version is also completely different from this one. I prefer this version of the soundtrack, but some people prefer the Saturn soundtrack. Hey, what's up, Azeth?
Many consciousness orbs, so
There's
we
Azeth.
can
He can help
one.
explain certain things to you guys if you have questions. He's the original router and runner of this this game, like I mentioned. We're getting onto the sun floors, Azeth, so get the clenches ready. Okay, so I'm gonna run right to the exit because it's right here, conveniently. And we're gonna do a save so we don't have to watch that cutscene again in case something happens. Right, so yeah, I forgot to mention as well. I keep saying Saturn. It's also on the PS1. PS1 and Saturn versions are... I actually own the PS1 version. They're the same thing. Okay. Unidentified parasite. Usually parasites are helpful, but once in a while they're not. Goodness, if I could just get a coat, that would be fantastic. I'm getting all these defensive items, but I don't have a coat for it. Yeah, that's why when I was approached for the possibility to show this game on RPG Limit Break, I was like, I will take that opportunity because more people need to know about Baroque. This game is like super unique in terms of the setting, right? We don't get many horror-esque RPGs, right? Outside of like Shadow Hearts and whatnot. I kind of want that recovery A. So some people classify this as a horror RPG. Okay, yeah. You know what? We're not going to get that recovery at the moment. That's a bit of a scary hallway. So yeah, love the setting. Very creepy vibes, especially in the overworld. You don't really get to see me explore the overworld much, but man, if you play this game casually, please take the time to explore and talk to those characters. Camera rotation is handled with the right joystick, thankfully. Okay, so here's where things can start spawning walls. Please, game, for this marathon, I ask that you be kind. Don't force me to kill walls, at least not too many of them. Ooh, my vitality. Goodness gracious. I'll risk it. Okay, good. Eating an unidentified heart can lower my max HP. Right, Parasite Eve, yeah, but you know what I mean, right? There's not too many of them. Kodelka, probably, I'm sure you guys mentioned that one in chat. Kodelka being, like, probably one of the best examples you can give, which was also ran at this marathon, by the way. So be sure to check the VODs for that. Oh my goodness, okay. Hopefully we don't gotta go that way. Those are the walls, by the way. Two. Doesn't look like it's gonna force me to go that way. Go here. Of course, it seems like the exit is going to be where I spawn, pretty much. Oh boy, okay. Alright, let's get prepared for this. I may have to kill this. Or this guy over here. How do I want to deal with this? Shock, I think. I do have an ice sword, which could be helpful. Let's do this. So using a heavy attack will stun enemies. Okay, now, defeating a sun like that, if I'm too close to it, will give me lethargy. But one wall down is fine. Now, you can see where the scary part comes in when the game... Oh, goodness gracious. When the game like this forces me to kill multiple walls in a row. So I'm going to wait until this lethargy wears off. Just double check here. Still... Oh, shoot, I have a summon. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow, I didn't even realize that. Okay, that could be really good. But if I keep stunning this guy, I should be fine. I'm just gonna need to make sure I back away. I wasn't quick enough there. Okay. So I can summon everything on a floor into the same room that I'm in. Of course, the exit is here. And then I can use AoE abilities to wipe everything. That can be super risky, but also... I'm gonna try and show that off, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna try and show that off. But if I summon everything and like they all gang up on me before I can use my AoE, that can also be really bad. The other walls we actually don't see in this run, thankfully. Just the sun walls. Which are still really intimidating when I'm low level, because I don't do a lot of damage. And I also can't take a lot of damage. You know what, we're gonna get rid of this. Just find a safe place to throw. Come on, everybody. Come on. I'm gonna risk it. Okay. Wow, nice. I'm getting pretty lucky with these unidentified uses of items. What I'm doing right now is the final climb. So, like, I'm not forcing deaths anymore. I don't want to die at this point. Okay, we got some wall. Oh boy, this is... Okay. Alright, we have a safety save in place. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to summon, and let's plan this out. We're going to do electric afterwards. Alright, so here we freaking go. Get ready for it. Summon everything. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. That's a lot of enemies. We're going to electric and hope I don't get hit. Nice. Oh, beautiful. Oh my goodness. Do I have anything else? Oh, I got a storm. I'm gonna use this closer to one of the walls, though. Actually, we can do it right here. Don't forget, I have an experience wing on right now that is giving me 20 extra experience for everything I kill. This is pretty much all I could do. Oh boy, this is... Alright, chat, we're gonna risk it. I can't kill the walls with all these things in here. I'm gonna warp to a random location on the floor. Nice.
It's too late.
Well, we're out of that situation. It actually placed me on the complete opposite end, so let's hope that that RNG pays off. And let's hope that the exit is not on the top of the map. Oh, there it is. Nice. My decision-making paid off. That was great. And we're level 12, by the way. Azith, what level did you finish your record run, by the way? Didn't you finish it at, like, level 8 or something? We play very, very risky. Oh, shoot. What floor am I on? Okay, good. Whew, I almost made a bad mistake there. Okay, floor 2000. I need to get something before I exit. Gotta make sure I'm paying attention. There are specific story beats that need to happen on certain floors. I'm pretty much kind of on par with PB at the moment. I'm a minute ahead right now, if I can find the place I need to find here relatively quickly. So another thing about running this game is you need to get used to the way... Okay, I can't exit here yet. Unfortunately, I need to find something else first. You need to learn how to push enemies. Certain enemies can be pushed easier than others, like because of their width. So it's a lot about remembering enemy patterns and how to best dodge them. It's an exciting run. Oh, level 16. Oh, right, you got Fire Breath. Fire Breath is such a cool ability. I don't think I'm going to be able to show that off, because I'm not going to be doing too much more leveling. But Fire Breath is an ability in this where when you level up, you breathe out fire and it pretty much one-shots everything. It's super cool. We're definitely not going to be on PB pace anymore, unfortunately. But things can always make a comeback in this. There it is, okay. I'm 10 seconds behind my PB right now. Keep you guys updated on that. This is a 2-minute cutscene. 1 minute, 58 seconds. By the way, Bible thumps in chat for the littles. Because, yeah, we're kind of putting them out of their misery in this cutscene, I think. These are the things that we were supposed to use as bullets in our gun. Such a weird game. Yeah, Angel Thump's even better. So I'll take this time to remind you guys, if you want to get into speedrunning this game, very easy run to get into. Very easy. You can do a blind run of this, easy peasy. You'll probably start off doing runs around 2 hours and gradually get it down. Great 12-hour challenge game. Azith has an amazing guide on speedrun.com. It's very short, very concise, very easy to follow. We'd love for you to come join us if this looks like something that would be of interest. If you're a fan of games like Dark Cloud, but you want to try like a pacifist-style Dark Cloud speedrun, because it's very similar in many ways, where you're not like forced to kill enemies all the time, give this one a look. It's a better speedrun than a casual playthrough, in my opinion. I don't know, that's just me. Well, easy to do a blind speedrun with the guide, because it's pretty straightforward. The only thing you need to know how to do is quickly get used to identifying what items are what. Also, shoutouts to the music in this cutscene. Okay, so I'm gonna clear my inventory a bit of things. Once again, I'm taking the safety route of not throwing directly from... Oh, we haven't been lusted yet. What a shame. I was really hoping that would happen. This actually isn't terrible. I'm gonna brand myself with better HP regeneration. I can throw much faster, but I don't want to risk anything going wrong here. Still do not have armor. That is unbelievable, actually. You know, I might just... Man, I might... No, I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna hold out hope that I'll still get a better coat. Yeah, we're not taking a chance on that. Okay, this should be good. That's a pretty long run back. I'm gonna use a warp again and hope I get placed. Let's warp again. Oh, nice. See? Warp paid off. Put me right next to the exit. Third one's a charm. I'm going to hold on to one warp for the later floors in case of an emergency, because it's very easy to get cornered in the later floors. Alright, so next floor I'm going to be paying attention to that I need to do something on is... Yeah, we don't want that. I'm not going to be really doing too much killing anymore. Is floor 28. 2800. Yeah, this is Wii version. The Wii version is the only one that runs in widescreen. The PS2 version is 4x3 only. Yes, and Saturn and PS1 version is first person. They converted this into third person. Nice floor look. Be careful, I'm not going to step on that. Okay, I'm going to actually go the other way, because I really don't trust those random... that's like a trap. It can be beneficial, it can be detrimental, so... We ain't risking that. I'm actually surprised I'm kind of keeping up with PB pace despite doing all these safety saves, because it takes up, you know, it adds up over the course of it. You can actually play this game in first person if you want, but I find it to be much more difficult that way. Harder to dodge enemies. I wouldn't recommend it for the run. Wow, okay. Yes, please, I will take this luck. The further we get into the floors, the longer the floors get, so anytime I can get a fast exit like that, I will take it. These guys I gotta be careful of. They have very low aggro, like you gotta be practically standing on top of them to aggro them. But if you aggro them, boy can that be scary. We're not gonna use that for sure. That can be good in an emergency. Shockwave. You know, I shouldn't really worry about my weapon anymore. Anything I'm gonna be killing is probably gonna be from Hypneus at this point. Uh-oh. Oh, I am paralyzed. Okay. You know, time to warp. And we warp right next to the exit. Thank you, RNG gods. They're having mercy on me for this marathon. Yeah, I think I'm going to make a safety save on every floor from here on out. Just because I don't want to get in the habit of, like, say, going down 3 floors and then dying and having to redo all those floors. I'd rather play it safe for you guys. What a warp, huh? Are we feeling risky right now? Are we feeling like warping? Actually, let me do a little maintenance here. My HP was looking a little scary there. Now I'm gonna hold on to the warps for situations that are dire. Yeah, and if there's a run that you want to get good luck in, It's Baroque. It's probably the most RNG heavy run of this marathon, so they're being kind of so far. We made it through the floors with the sun walls relatively unscathed. No. Gonna throw items that I don't need along the way here. Ouch. So usually what I do is I know it's a thing, an item that I can throw along the way. I kind of just throw it as I'm running if it's safe. Oh, what is that? Ooh. Oh my god, yes. One of the best coats in the game. Finally, I knew waiting would be worth it. Okay, and now we can use defense. Do I have any other defenses? Look at that swag coat now. Oh, that's so exciting. I have resistances to all 3 basic elements now. See, this is why I love this speedrun. Like, man, you find things to get excited over every run. Things that can happen. Just got another coat. I actually don't know what the lost coat is. Look at all these coats now, but I still have one of the best you can get. Okay, once again, I really need to make sure that I'm paying attention. Oh my god, this floor luck right now. I need to make sure that I'm paying attention to what floor I'm on, because if I bypass floor 28, I actually don't know what the backup is for that, so let's pay attention. Can we see it? Sure. Has high defense, but VT will drain faster. No, thank you. You know what? Let's clear out some of my inventory right now. This is a safe room to do it in, so let's do this. Contains an item I don't have. You know what? Let's open it. A junk... Thank you, game. A junk sword. So you can get any item in the game that you don't have. Very interesting. All this junk. I'm not going to use an unidentified parasite. I'm kind of happy with my fast regenning parasite at the moment. Okay, I think I'm happy with this. We got a yeet raid. If you guys can just do me a favor, because sometimes I have problems with like short-term memory. When I am on floor 2800, please just like in chat be like, you're on 2800, okay? Just in case I have a brain fart, because that could be bad. I'm on 26 right now. Especially when doing commentary for this, like I can definitely lose track of how fast I'm going through these dungeons. This is a very bad floor, unfortunately. It pretty much made me go through the entire thing before... Well, still apparently not coming up on the exit. Exposure. It's strong, but you may have an urge to take it off in front of somebody? Wow, what? What an amazing... Oh my god. Some of the items in this game are amazing. I've never picked up an exposure before. So apparently it's got really good defense, but you might want to just, like, strip it off in front of an enemy. Alright, then. Ooh, we're getting some good torturers here. Unbrand, I don't really need that. Sorry, exposure, we're gonna toss you away right now, you as well. We're gonna get rid of this. Uh-oh. had to step around that carefully because that would make me slow if I stepped on it. Of course, I went the wrong way. I'm gonna keep the glass because I'm gonna use that maybe on a. Actually, you know what? I'm good with the code I have. Actually, it's really good. Arrow. Actually, we're gonna drop this arrow from my inventory. No, wrong way. I'm gonna place this from my inventory. There we go. Ugh, troll. Baroque. Why? Now, I want you guys to look at my mini-map, right? You see what they just did to me? Dead end, and I gotta run all the way back. Ooh, be careful. Warp. You know what? Yeah, you're... Oh, of course I just blocked off my pathway with items. Great. That was a bad decision. Yeah, I could have warped, actually, but having warps for the later dungeon floors is actually not a bad idea, because those floors in particular can be brutal with sending you to the wrong end and making you backtrack like crazy, so I actually want to keep some of those last resort items for later on in the dungeon. By the way, listen to this music. I'm just going to shut up for a second so you guys can appreciate the music. How about that? Wow, this is really interesting floor layout right now. This is very bad, unfortunately. My PB has insane luck in the later levels, so PB chance probably out the window, but still not a bad pace. Goodness, right now, holy moly! It's got to be in the center, the one place I didn't check. Through, excuse me. Inside. Okay, we're going to floor 2800. I need to do something specific there. Yep, so combat in this game, typically in the speedrun, we utilize items to kill enemies. There's really no point to doing physical combat, except for when we're forced to against a wall. Yep, thank you guys. We gotta find Alice. Hopefully I can find her relatively quickly. Thank you. Corridor's the game. Final Fantasy 13 ain't got nothing on this game. Ah, we got her, nice. Where is she? There she is. Okay. Oh, this is actually kind of scary with all these enemies in here. Littles. Very careful not to throw it at an enemy that steps in front of me, which has happened in the past. If an enemy were to step in front of me, or like to the side of me, and I threw it and it hit them instead of the NPC, we gotta reload. Okay, so this is a 1 and 20-minute cutscene. And now we're in the final stretch. There are 3,900 floors that we need to go through. Rather, 39 floors. But floor 3,900 is what I'm aiming to get to, so now you guys can kind of keep track of how close I'm getting to the end. And this is when things start getting pretty intense. Very intense. In terms of enemies and floor layouts and getting into bad situations. 1 minute and 20 seconds. A 1 and 20-minute cutscene, exactly. Yes, I also... Well, I didn't give her water, I actually gave her the little angel guys.
Back to myself.
Alright, we have no other objectives. No more cutscenes to worry about, no more characters to find. We are just worried about rushing our way to the last floor. Unfortunately, I did not find the port out of here, so now I gotta still find it through here. Let's recover some vitality. There we are. Nice. Good time. We got the swag coat, though. I'm feeling pretty good about this. We got the good luck coat. Hope. I've been given hope. Thank you, game. Alright, so these floors are where the game starts to get really long. So these floors, if I don't find the exit early, can cause substantial time loss. So anytime I find an early exit on these floors, it's reason to celebrate. Those tall, pyramid-looking enemies only aggro if you hit them or if an enemy hits them. The Jukes. But if they do get awoken, they are very scary to deal with. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Same thing with these guys. I want to keep my distance. Gotta go fast. Ah, there it is. Okay. Not the best floor, but could have been worse. Yep, full inventory right now, no problem. I'm pretty happy with what's in my inventory. I might do another clear out here soon. I've got a lot of, like, kind of, if I'm backed into a corner, dire situation kind of escape items. You know, I just... Ooh, these enemies. Some of the worst enemies in the game. Those, like, motorcycle dashing guys. They can be troublesome, especially if they're coming up behind me. Yeah, this is... Floor 3000 on is where things get pretty clench-worthy. Okay, we definitely... Ooh, we don't want flesh. Okay, please come through. Come out of there, please. Please. Come on. Yeah, it's about luring, it's about being able to pull enemies out of hallways. Actually, special. Why do I feel like that's good? You know, I'm not risking that. Nope, you guys can have that fluid. I'm gonna keep going. That's a lot of enemies. Making sure I'm trying to juke, because I can hear them coming up behind me. Oh boy. This looks like it might be a floor that I use one of the warp bones on, if the exit is not this way. Of course, I threw it, it bounced off the wall and went right back into my inventory. Thank you, video game. Alright, let's get rid of the exposure coat. As much as I want to wear it and flatter these enemies. My goodness, okay. Oh, it's a dead end. Okay. Warp, please. Be kind. Oh, wow. That was actually exactly what I wanted. Thank you. Now I'm back on the other side. I'm a couple minutes off PB right now. Probably not going to happen because in my PB, my endgame was insanely lucky with floor exits. But still a decent pace. I'm happy with it. Especially because I'm saving after every floor for marathon reasons. It's going to be a little hard to get a PB. Alrighty. Can't hold the bones. I haven't really been getting anything that can identify, so all these bones I've been getting are kind of a little hard to use the correct way because, well, I don't know what they are and I don't want to risk it. I didn't get any experience point bones, but that's okay because I've had the experience wings on the whole time. Speaking of which, do I have... no. I was going to see if I had different wings to equip instead of the experience, since I don't really need it anymore. Oh, wow, that is so good. Thank you, game. That's a very bad floor if you go the wrong way and have to backtrack. Okay, this is where things get extra scary. These enemies. The big tank. Oh my god. Oh, this is good. I didn't save by mistake. I meant to save, but that's okay. Oh, that was so good. The floors with these giant tank guys on them, they are big enough to the point where if they're in a hallway, they can completely block you. So we don't want that to happen. You know what? I'm gonna... Wow, that is a good item. Holy. I'm gonna throw this. I don't need that anymore. Just want to get more, like, BT restoratives. Wait, Resurrect. I remember that being really good. What is that again? Resurrects when HP depletes. Once you use it, turns into a no-brand. Oh my god. That's the first time I've ever gotten one of these. So, wait, Azeth, do I need to brand myself with this in order for this to resurrect me if I die? I've never had one of these before. Or does it automatically use it from my inventory? See, that's the thing about this game. Like, there's some really rare items in the run that you will sometimes never see. I would have to brand. Okay. We're gonna brand myself with that. Oh, because I'm already branded. I had some unbrands, but I got rid of them all. That's unfortunate. That's okay. Oh boy. I think they just woke up one of the big guys. Let's check and see. Oh boy. Okay, nope, this is fine. Not like I'm going through floor levels that are, you know, supposed to have me at level 30 or so, and I'm only level 12. Not scary at all. Let's go this way. Excuse me, please. Thank you. This guy is right on top of me. We're trying to get to floor 3900. Uh-oh. Push him aside. Yep. Don't mind me. Just passing through. Putting on a chorus of music with their symbols for me. Right, if you see the number fluctuating by a little bit, anytime I go to an elevated level, actually, you know what? That's the fence wings. Let's get that. Give myself a little bit more defense over my experience wings that I don't need anymore. Yeah, see how it kind of fluctuated? That just means that I'm on a higher elevation. Don't mind these traps. We're gonna go up. We're gonna chance going up here. This is a bad floor, unfortunately. Man, this is a bad one. Let's just hope the exit is this way. The map is getting so big that it's going off screen. Remember when I told you guys getting early exits here is pretty important? Oh, I made the right decision. See, I knew this game would try and screw me over, essentially, because I had a feeling they'd put the exit as far as possible instead of going down the little side corridors. Yeah, no fire breath. At this point, I mean, I've only got a few floors to go. I'm not going to be leveling anymore. So if I would have got that early in the run, that would have been amazing. But unfortunately, it's a little too late for fire breath. Ooh, wow, that is good. From a bad floor to a good floor. That is really good luck. We're gonna risk going north. Here we go. We got multiple options there, but I'm feeling north right now. We're trying to get to floor 3900. We're almost there. Almost. The last floor also doesn't have any enemies if I take the correct paths, so ideally we won't get any... Oh, we won't have any trouble on floor 3900. So really 3 floors left, including this one, for the most part. Okay, I'm gonna warp. If this doesn't lead to the portal, I'm gonna warp. Ooh, that's not good. Can you please come out of there? Come on. Just shoot your bazooka. These guys do a ton of damage, by the way. Alright, I think I can squeak by that. There we go. I have to say, this has been one of the more mild trips through the final dungeons in this game that I've ever had. Typically, things can get crazy in these floors, so this is nice. It's a good marathon one. We don't really know, Colin, how much it loses. As it plays on emulator, ooh, I made the right choice. Perfect. I play on Wii unemulated. He plays PS2 emulated. We haven't really done timing tests on loading, especially between 2 pieces of hardware. So I don't know how much emulator loses or gains to the Wii. So our comparisons are probably not the best considering the different uses of hardware and emulation at the moment. But if any of you are looking to join us, feel free. Alright, I'm still kind of feeling using a warp bone potentially here. I appreciate that, Palmer. Yeah, I typically play a lot of weird stuff like this. I do variety non-speedrun stuff and speedrunning. I've done a little bit of everything. I play some weird stuff, okay. I may or may not be submitting a dating game meant for girls on the CDI to AGDQ, so pray for me on that one that it gets in. Just as an example. Excuse me, thank you. This is a horrible floor, by the way. No, it's a game called Girls Club. It's like watching something from Nickelodeon or something back in the 90s, and you're trying to like find quote-unquote hot guys from the 90s to date. It's an experience. Yeah, we're just gonna coast on through here. Ah, okay, good. Let's get out of here. Alright everybody, floor 38. This is pretty much the last floor that I need to be worried about. We're also no longer on PV pace, but I'm very happy with my pace considering things. So you know what? Since this is, we've been having some good luck, let's do it. Warp. Okay, that's a bad warp. Let's do it again. Okay. Not the epic conclusion that I was hoping for in terms of putting me directly in the room with the floor exit, but alright. No, far from world record. A marathon run of this, in order to get world record, could probably never happen really, because you have to use safety strats on this with saving and leveling a little bit here and there. I would never use PB strats in a marathon setting for this, because your run could easily die. Like, is it worth playing? Yes. I mentioned earlier, if you plan on playing the skin casually, please do yourself a favor and use a guide on GameFAQs, please. Or use the speedrun.com guide to at least know the essentials that you need to know to progress the game, because you will not beat this. Oh, we did it, everybody. You will not beat this without a guide. Just letting you know. I'm still going to safety save here, just in case. Okay, now if I remember right, as if maybe you can remind me, I just gotta head south, right? And as long as I'm heading south, it will bring me to Archangel with no enemies, right? Benefit since I've done this. Down and left. So yeah, something that Azith found, shoutouts to Azith. If you head down on floor 3900, as long as you're heading down and left, 90% of the time, I think one time I had like a weird occurrence where it didn't exactly work as planned. It will always bring you to where you need to go on this floor without any enemy encounters. So yeah, we just found it by heading down and left. Yeah, you can play in widescreen on the Wii as opposed to 4x3 on the PS2.
You're the original.
Alright, so we're coming up on time here. Pretty soon. Yes, Wii copy is also cheaper.
That's right. It was I who tore you
Also,
apart.
don't go crazy.
Don't go crazy, don't go crazy, don't go crazy, don't go crazy, don't go
Okay,
crazy.
time
don't
is
go
when the
crazy,
cutscene
don't go
starts.
crazy, don't go crazy, don't go crazy, don't go crazy.
Time. That's a 129.10 and a rainbow split on my last split, which is nice. I had some pretty good luck there. I'll let you guys enjoy the ending cutscene here, because this is a pretty crazy end cutscene, okay? We've come all this way. We've found God. This is God. What are we going to do with God? Let's find out. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Are we going to kill her? I mean, what are we going to do, right? Not that you guys have any idea, because I can't even explain to you what the heck is going on here. She needs help. Give her our water. We'll see. He's going in for a hug. Maybe they can go past the friend zone, you know? We'll have to find out and see. She's freed. God is freed from her shackles. Oh, they're going in for the hug. Just go up to her already. Goodness. Or you can fly that too. Uh-oh. Oh, God's caressing his hair. Oh, she's going for it. She's going for the kiss. He's like, you know what? No French kissing God. Not today. Friend zones God for the hug. That's Baroque, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed watching the run. Thanks for making it a lot of fun for me too. It's always pretty exciting to show this game for people. God rejected.
Don't go crazy. Don't go crazy.
The crazy girlfriend. Who knew, right? God is the crazy girlfriend. He's got his hands full.
If you have gone crazy, then so will I. I treasure you far more than saving the world. The reason I was born is to become one with you.
I don't know about you guys, but if I was hugging a girl that was
Are you saying
telling
you
herself not to go
refuse save
crazy
the
every
world?
2 seconds,
The world's inhabitants
I might
will
step
suffer
away.
at the mercy of their Baroques, and you, the cause of it all, are going to close yourselves in and leave the world in lunacy?
Don't go crazy. Save the world. Don't go crazy.
It doesn't matter. I treasure you more than the world itself.
Cutscene's almost over, by the way.
You are useless.
I couldn't cut it off before the friend zoning thing, though. It's classic.
Can you not hear me? Damn it, have they twisted?
All right, so coming up next,
PD, Mike is muted on Discord, so I have no idea if I'm interrupting you right now, but just letting you know that we still have some time left, so if you want to talk about, the Discord server, plug the Discord in the chat, you have some time.
Sure. Well, first of all, for people that are just popping in, this is a speedrun marathon organized by Professor Palmer. Shoutouts to Palmer. Really cool dude. You guys wouldn't be seeing any of this without his hard work in organizing this. And the guy is so humble enough to not even include one of his own runs in this marathon. So can we show some love for Palmer, first of all, in chat for making this all possible? And also, this is a bad or obscure marathon. It doesn't necessarily mean that the games you guys are seeing here are both bad and obscure. It can mean either or. And it also doesn't just mean that the game is bad or obscure. It can also rely on the category in the case of games like Final Fantasy XII and Dark Cloud. Just letting you guys kind of know the general idea behind this marathon. If you guys are interested in, potential future marathon runs of B.O.S.S and submitting games yourself, if you want to see this continue year by year, be sure to join the Discord, be sure to show some interest, and if Palmer decides to open up submissions again next year, maybe you guys want to learn a obscure or bad RPG speedrun or two. Because we can't continue it if there's not enough of you out there submitting bad or obscure games, So get out there and learn some bad games, and maybe you can see yourself here next year. You can join the Discord server. I'm pretty sure you can just find the link to that. I don't know. Someone will post it in chat, I'm sure. And we're kind of nearing the end of the marathon. Not quite. We still got another day full of RPGs coming up. Believe it or not, I'll be back a little bit later tonight. After this run coming up is Bick Pong Balls. I had to make sure I was saying his name correctly. He's going to be doing a speedrun of Phantasy Star 3 on the Game Boy Advance to you guys immediately following this run. And then after that, I will be back. I will be doing a speedrun of Lucien's Quest on the 3DO. So if you ever wanted to see what a 3DO RPG, it's actually the only traditional turn-based JRPG released in America for the console.
What will happen to us?
Be sure to tune into that a few hours from now. And then after that, we got a really crazy lineup for you tonight. After my run of Lucien's Quest, we have the return of Close to War, who's going to be doing the continuation of Chaos Wars for you guys on PS2. The run is so long, the estimate is about 15 hours, by the way. The run is so long that he actually had to break it up into 2 runs. So he did part 1 last night for 7.5 hours. Props to him for, first of all, taking the graveyard shift twice in 2 nights in a row, so thank you, Close to War. He did a lot of us a service doing that. He will be continuing his run later tonight, the graveyard hours, finishing up Chaos Wars, which is really well known for having one of the most phenomenal, fully produced English dubs in the history of video games. So if you've never experienced that before, it's something not to miss. And yeah, that's what's coming up in the immediate future here on B.O.S.S. So hopefully that's enough time killing for you guys. that's Baroque. Perfect timing going out on the title screen. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you later tonight, and stay tuned for Phantasy Star 3 coming up right after this.